Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at Drums Against Humanity by Ugritone. So first of all, Drums Against Humanity is a drum virtual instrument with a specific use in mind, extreme metal. So like death metal, black metal, anything extreme. It's replicating the drum kit of Inferno from Behemoth. And by the way, this is Inferno himself that is playing the performance while recording the samples for the VST. I absolutely love this VST and has become an integral part of my workflow and is now pretty much on all of my tracks these days. I'm going to go over all the good and the bad of this plugin, but let's start by having a listen of this plugin first. Okay, now we are in Cubase. So we're going to listen to the drums all by itself with some metal MIDI that is also from Ugritone. So there's no processing on the drums. This is the VST as it is coming out of the box. Here you can see me play with the Humanize button of the VST, and you can hear how it affects the performance. Okay, here is an example in a mixed context. Keep in mind, there are some processing on the drums. Mostly kick and snare. The toms have their own mix bus, then all the shells also have their own mix bus, and I'm also using some parallel compression on some of the part of the drum. Also, in this example, the MIDI has been manually edited to sound natural. You can see an example right here. Also, I'm using the Humanize preset at 14%. Alright, so like you can see and hear, this drum VST sounds pretty good, right? Now let's have a look at the UI and all the possible sounds and settings. Okay, now we are back in Cubase, and this is what the VST looks like when you first boot it up. First thing to notice is that the UI is resizable, always nice to have, especially if you have a 4K monitor. So let's try to put it as big as we can here. Okay, so you can see that this is the drum kit that we have available to us now. So you can click on each of the part, and each time you click on it, you're gonna see like a little settings or config window popping up. Okay, you can also use this button here to put all the config windows on the screen at the same time. So here, if you want to hear it, you can press the test button. This is an interesting function. So you press test, and it's like having your own drummer on the stage, and you can do some adjustment to the sound if you like. Like this. Mute it if you want. Change the effects. Changing the gain and everything. You can also change the sound if you like. So here we have 2 kick available to us. Let's see how it sounds. Each time you change the sound, gonna have this loading here. This is normal. This is another kick available to us. And this is the snare. This is probably my favorite snare of them all, but we have also we have five snare you can choose. Let's have a listen. Okay, carnivore. Bit brighter. Oh, I like this one too. Also pretty good. We won't listen to them all, but this is most likely the only two that you might change when you work with this VST. We have also 2 extra toms. This is these two right here. So yeah, if you click on this button, you can close the window here. And we have two extra thumbs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thumbs. 6 regular thumbs plus 2 like FX thumb, rocket thumbs they call it here. You don't have the choice of the thumbs though. It's only 1 thumb available. The extra thumbs, you have 2 choices. You have 1 hi-hat, also 2 choices here. You have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Chinas, 2 crashes, 2 FX cymbals, and 1 ride. So the FX cymbals, it's important to know that these 2 right here. They look like splashes, but they're not really splashes. They're like FX cymbal basically. So let's have a listen. You also have some choices. More like a small China and more like a small bell ride. So as you can see, you have no splashes basically. And these are some similar sounding. Oh, okay, this is like the stack mega cup chime. Okay, so as you can hear, there is no splashes. Let's continue on the UI. So this button here, you show all the configs. You shut them off. When you click the FX button, you're gonna change all the config windows to the FX window. Back to the mix here, and here is the routing. Here you can change the routing of each part of the drums. So right now it's configured to be only 1 stereo output here, but you can choose all the different outputs here. If you want 3 outputs, 4 outputs, 6 outputs. What you saw in my example and my past example, I was using the Megamix 16 outputs. This is probably a bit overkill. Maybe this one here would have given me the same results, but I like to have all the control here. Also, some interesting to note is that you can choose your MIDI routing. By default, it's going to be like the default drum VSTs, the regular drum
that
a regular drum MIDI should work right away on this. But if you have like an electronic drum kit and this is not the exact same MIDI note settings, you can change these to fit on your electronic drum kits. Also, you can invert the perception of the panning of the instrument. So some people prefer to pan the drum like at the perspective of the drum player, like putting the ride to the left and the hi-hat, the ride to the right, sorry, and the hi-hat to the left side. Some people prefer to have it inverted, to see it like you're actually watching the drummer. Personally, I prefer to have it regular. It's only a matter of taste. You have the mix window here. Here you can change the Humanize preset, you can change the gain, you can change the reverb, you can put a different saturation if you like. There's a couple preset of saturation, some delay, and stuff like that. We also have the shop window. Not sure why we need this, but it's there. We have the notification window here, but more on that later. And this here is basically all the presets for the FX routing and everything, the sounds, the effects that is provided with the VST. What we heard in the example, that was the first one. I think it's my favorite with the apostasy drum snare. Here you can change where the presets are, reverb location, change basically the GUI and everything. Okay, now let's go over all the pros and cons of this VST so you can decide for yourself if you want to buy it or not. Alright, so first pros is obviously the sound is awesome. I think it's perfect for metal, I think it's perfect for death metal, perfect for black metal, anything metal basically. And actually, in my opinion, it's one of the best VSTs for metal out there for sure. Also, there's a lot of sound to choose from. We have 6 toms, 2 rocket toms like I said. We have 8 toms in total. We have 5 chinas, 2 crashes, a lot of cymbals, a lot of toms, basically a lot of sound to work with. Also, the price point is very interesting. Only $100 on regular prices. You can get it on special and in special occasions like Black Fridays and stuff like that. But only $100 for this plugin. This is an excellent deal. Also, the UI is resizable, which is always a plus. So for me, all these points would be enough to grant a buy actually. Like you can see, I already bought it. We could finish up the video right there, okay? Bye-bye. Have a good one. No, I'm joking, of course. I think we should also mention all the cons because there are a few. These are minor gripes and details. I think we should still mention them for sure because they're still annoying. Keep in mind, I'm gonna list a bit more cons than pros, but it's mostly tough love because I do love this plugin and I do recommend it. Let's go over all the bad points. Okay, first point. Yes, it's perfect for metal, but unfortunately, it's not very versatile. I don't think it would fit well like a pop rock song, a hip hop song, country song. It is mostly for metal. So if you want to do another style, I would recommend another plugin. Second bad point, there are no splashes. If you want splashes, like regular splashes, you should get another drum VST. But let's be honest here, we wanted to get Inferno's drum kit. This is what we get. There are no splashes on Inferno's drum kit. Third bad point is that when you first boot up the VST, the loading time is quite substantial. I guess it comes with good sounding VSTs. I've seen that on many VSTs, but it feels to me like this one is a bit long. Let's have a look. Finally. Of course, I'm a bit exaggerating in my skit. It actually took me this amount of time. I'm gonna put the timestamp right here. And keep in mind, I have the VSTs and the samples installed on a solid state drive. So it's supposed to be quick, right? One of my friends has it installed on a regular hard disk drive. And when he booted up, he has time to go get a haircut, get the brakes fixed on his car, go to the bank, and then come back and have the drum ready to go. I'm gonna be honest here, it's not a deal breaker for me. But I still think it's still worth mentioning because, you know, if you have a quick idea, if you want to go track something really quickly, it might be a hassle or an obstacle for you. Another point I want to mention that happened to me while recording footage for this video is that I get some crashes when I change the outputs on the VST and my DAW is not ready to take it. Let's have a look. Another point that I think is worth mentioning for me is that when I lower the buffer size in Cubase, if you want to jam some guitars and something, to lower the lag, the quality of the sound is dropping drastically. We can hear some crackles and noises, but the thing is, it's not always like this. I'm guessing it's worse when you have a lot of VSTs loaded in your session. I was not able to get footage of this. I guess it's on and off. But it's annoying because sometimes I exported in my track with low buffer size and I have it listened, it sounds like crap. Of course, it's a mistake to export with low buffer size, but yeah, I think it's still worth to mention. And I also know it's normal to lose a bit of quality if you drop the buffer size. But to me, I think it's a bit worse than all the other VSTs that I own. Also, a little nitpick here. Yes, the UI is resizable, but we could argue that it's a bit outdated and it looks a bit like my old MySpace profile page. Also, another small nitpick is that there's no manual for this plugin. That's not really a big deal because of course the plugin is really straightforward. You boot it up, you put the MIDI, it's gonna sound good. But when you have a technical plugin like this, you want to dive in the manual. Sometimes you want to know what all the settings do. You don't want to watch YouTube videos on it, basically. Yeah, so there's no manual on that. And last but not least is that I'm not a big fan of the notifications and store button in the GUI of the plugin. Come on guys, I'm already subscribed to your mailing list. I don't have to get notifications and store ads while I'm working on some music. It's breaking my immersions a little bit. You can be sure I will not be clicking those buttons while I'm working on some music. So in conclusion, I know I've been a bit hard on this plugin in this last section, but it's tough love, trust me. Like I said, I do love this plugin and I do recommend it. All these minor cons are really details, gripes, and nitpicks. I know Ugritone is a small team of developers, and I also know by experience that writing quality software is not something trivial, and I think they did a wonderful job here. And I think this plugin is underrated and deserves to be known better. All right, that's it for me. Have a good one and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.